The Human Rights Commission in the Eastern Cape is investigating whether there are any human rights violations that the recent flood victims have suffered. Now, the Commission describes some of the living conditions the victims in the Buffalo City Metro are subjected to as appalling. Residents were picking up the pieces following the devastating floods. Our reporter Abongile Yankees has more for us.
While efforts continue to provide relief and assistance to the people who are flood victims in the Eastern Cape, particularly in the Buffalo City Metro, the Human Rights Commission in the province has also stepped in to assess whether any human rights violations have occurred here and to these flood victims. Let's bring in the Commission's Dr. Eileen Carter. Ma'am, thanks a lot for your time. What are you doing here? Kindly explain.
So we've been on the ground because we know that the floods have really affected this community amongst others. And what we unfortunately found is a community that is living in undignified circumstances, and we need to certainly intervene. But what we are positive about is that we are seeing cooperation from all sides of society. We've seen the councillor here on the ground. We have seen the mayor has visited this area. And even more so, Gift of the Givers and civil society has stepped in to assist as much as they can. But unfortunately, as we know, the assistance can never be enough.
And it's temporary relief. Kindly elaborate on that.
Absolutely. What we have discussed with the mayor is that there's an area identified for this community to provide relief and to relocate them to. But unfortunately, the timing, it's been taking so long to get this community to the side and the area where they will be moved to. Amongst others, the issue is the temporary shelter and housing and structures that need to be built and provided. So we call upon all the stakeholders, human settlements, to come and step in, because we cannot waste any more time. This is not a new occurrence. This is certainly going to be repeated again as we look at climate change and the patterns of the weather as well. So it's time for us to act with a little bit of urgency, but we're also thanking the structures and the stakeholders who are on the ground and who are taking this quite seriously.
And surely it would bring more pressure on them to act, but really there are backlogs of housing in the province and even countrywide. But you are saying their living conditions are appalling.
The living conditions are appalling, and unfortunately, even the food parcels this morning that came from Gift of the Givers, it's just not enough for what is needed in this community. And without prioritizing one above the other, as a collective, we need to look at what the solutions are. And like I say, these circumstances are certainly going to be repeated, and we need to look what the Constitution is saying. And the Constitution says people have a right to housing, but even more so, people have a right to dignity, and that is what we're calling upon now.